Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Nice seeing you also. And of course, amazing criminal defense lawyer out in Denver, Colorado, Jeffrey Wolf. Jeffrey, nice to see you. And I want to start with you since I brought you all the way in from the West. This idea that the defense has opened with that the decedent, Ms. Argie, who was trying to leave her husband, had a great job, was happy, was talking to Kelly Hobbs. We didn't play that clip yet, but I'm representing it for you as an officer of this court, okay? Killed herself in her bed, maybe either by suffocating herself with the pillow or with the bed sheet, hanging herself, but lying down in bed for her daughter to see the next morning when she peeked in and saw her mother's hair, her gray hair blending in with the gray sheets. Thoughts?
Yeah. What's my thought on that? I would say that it's what my old supervisor used to tell me, that dog won't hunt. This is a very, very tough defense to be running here. Shout out to the public defenders that are representing this guy in the face of him firing and rehiring them several times throughout this case, threatening to not come to court and everything else that he's done to be a less than ideal client for them. They're doing their best with the cards that they are dealt. It's not their choice to be in trial. It's always the client's. But to say that somebody would hang themselves with a bed sheet or suffocate themselves with their own pillow, which is almost a physically impossible thing to do, because eventually you'll lose consciousness and lose control of the pillow. And hanging yourself with a bed sheet is pretty rare. It's something that we typically see in autoerotic asphyxiation cases rather than a suicide. That's a pretty weird way to kill yourself, especially when you're a mother who's planning to be leaving this marriage and taking your kids with you and then leaving yourself for them to find. It's just not very realistic, as well as the fact that his family, all of his friends are basically coming in to pin motive on him. It's not looking too good for the defense here.
Jeffrey Wolf, could it possibly be as simple as, hey, he is actually giving her money, so if he's so bankrupt, so broke, so failing to make payments, why is he giving her money? And does that play into the defense's argument that she wasn't making enough money to cover the bills, but he did?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they were doing, because the prosecution's been painting him as a broke gambling addict, and they're showing transfers from him to her. So if he has less money, it's because he's giving it to her. And really good move by that public defender right there, having the prosecutor manage the exhibit for her. Go ahead and turn to this page for me, Mr. Prosecutor. You work for me. That was awesome.
Wow, well, interesting. Let me just follow up on that before I go back to Julie. Why do jurors pay attention to things like that, Jeffrey, in the courtroom as a matter of strategy? And the fact that it was basically one question, a one-question cross.
Right. It's because it's a power dynamic in there. And what I have found from talking to jurors is the way that people interact and the confidence with which they interact with the other people in the courtroom absolutely goes to the credibility of that lawyer. It's like buying a used car, you buy from who you like. And I think they like moves like that. One of the things I've done in the past is move a podium that I'm not going to use when a prosecutor is going to stand behind it, and then they have to drag it back. And if they're smaller than I am, which is hard to do, I'm a pretty short guy, but I find them occasionally, and they look like they're struggling, it makes them look weak. It's psychological, and it's a physical tool that you can use in the courtroom. And something as simple as telling the prosecutor to go ahead and turn the page for you shows that you are in control here, and that's good.